Years after the murder of Beverly Gunther, a death sentence is carried out. Tonight, shortly after 6, Amber McLaughlin became the first transgender person in the country to die by lethal injection. Fox 2's Jeff Bernthal reports from the Bond Hair prison, where McLaughlin left behind a final statement.
Rowdy Nation TV, welcome back to the channel. Do me a favor, click that like button, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, so anytime I drop a video, you guys can be notified. Let's get to it. Now, Amber McLaughlin, the first transgendered female woman, was executed last month in the month of January 2023. The BOP, the Bureau of Prisons, carried out 3 executions last month, and Amber McLaughlin was one of those executions, being the first transgendered woman to be executed. So we're gonna jump back into it, get into her story, and see how she made her way to death row. And there's 2 more executions on here that we're gonna cover too also. So sit back, relax, and let's get to it.
The death sentence generated national attention for being the first time an openly transgender inmate was executed. Beverly Gunther was the victim, abducted from her job and stabbed to death in 2003. 2 of her family members witnessed the execution, wanting to make sure their loved one was not forgotten.
Today, the state of Missouri carried out Scott McLaughlin's sentence as ordered by the Missouri Supreme Court. McLaughlin was convicted and sentenced to death for the 2003 brutal rape and murder of Beverly Gunther.
McLaughlin was convicted in 2005 and later identified as a woman. McLaughlin left behind this written final statement reading, "I am sorry for what I did. I am a loving and caring person."
Okay, how do you guys feel, excuse me, about the first female transgender woman being executed? I mean, she did the crime as a man. I was just wondering, did they make any special conditions for her while she was in prison? Because she only transitioned into a woman the last 3 years of her sentence. So she's only been transitioning for the last 3 years before she was executed, right? And you know, I heard that they have to provide, like, for Scott, Amber to become a female, you know, all the drugs that they use, like all those hormone pills, they have to provide those for them if they want to transition into a female. And guess who pays for those drugs? You and I do, right? The people who go out and work every day. Leave a comment in my comment section and tell me how you feel about that, about paying for people. I don't think she was a full female. I don't think, you know, she had the surgery, because I'm pretty sure she can't afford the surgery, and I'm pretty sure we're not going to pay for the surgery. But for the hormone pills and all that other stuff, I think that's on our dime. I think we pay for that. You know what I'm saying? Leave me a comment and let me know how you feel about that. Let's get to the next case.
It once was to uphold the law put to death by the state of Texas.
Former Missouri City Police Officer Robert Frada giving no final statement before being executed tonight at the state prison in Huntsville, nearly 30 years after he orchestrated the murder of his wife, Farah, at their home in Atascocita.
But drama unfolded hours before his execution played out.
ABC 13's Daniela Hurtado is here now to explain what happened. Daniela?
Gina, Eric, there was a lot of back and forth this evening, but it was ultimately decided to move forward with his execution. Tonight, victim advocates are calling him a coward.
He was a coward in 1994. He still was a coward tonight.
Death row inmate Robert Frada was convicted of plotting his estranged wife's murder nearly 3 decades ago, leaving behind 3 hurting children in the midst of a divorce turned deadly.
Make no mistake about it, Bob Frada is the epitome of an atomic bomb.
Now, this case right here comes to us straight out of Texas, right? I remember this case. Robert Frada, an ex-police officer, had his wife killed. He didn't kill her himself. He had a young brother who, I don't know how he convinced this young dude to kill his wife, but he did. He convinced this young brother to, as the wife was pulling into a garage, the young dude came up and shot her, right? Shot her, and he was caught like so fast. It was amazing how fast this dude was caught. And of course he spilled the beans, and they caught caught the guy. They knew there had to be some other reason why this woman was killed, because I don't even think he took anything. I think he tried to make it look like a robbery, but I think it was just that case. You want to pull that case up if you want to get into specifics of that case of why Robert Frada got killed. I mean, why Robert Frada was executed and received the death penalty. It's because he killed his wife, and he had some little young dude do it, right? Ambushed her as she was pulling into the driveway. Now, this guy right here was very arrogant. He was always in the news. He was always giving interviews. He was a narcissist. You know what I mean? Life was all about him. You can tell he was a bodybuilder. You know what I'm saying? So he was a narcissist, a real narcissist. But Robert Frada was executed in Texas on January the 10th, right? That's the second execution in the United States that took place last month, right? So anybody can offer any more information about this case that I don't know about. Ain't too much to offer. Like I said, he's been in jail for 30 years. I don't know if this guy thought that he was going to get away with it. I think he did, man. The way he was, he thought that he could just, like a soothsayer, right? Like somebody like, why don't you believe me? I'm telling you this. Why don't you believe me? He was more like a soothsayer. Like, you know, I don't understand why these guys know. If you kill your wife, if you kill your spouse, ladies, if you kill your husband, men, if you kill your wife, you're the first person that they're going to talk to, right? You're the first person. You're the first suspect. That's who they start with. And these people, I don't know if they practice this or not. I mean, like, they just fall apart. Like, you know, they're coming after you. You're the number one suspect. If your wife or your husband get killed, right? You're the number one suspect. They're going to start there and work their way out, right? Let's get to the next case.
Clemency denied for an Oklahoma man on death row.
61-year-old Scott Eisenberg convicted of first-degree murder in the deaths of AJ and Patsy Cantrell. The elderly couple were killed in their home in Depew, Oklahoma, back in 2003. Prosecutors say Eisenberg broke into the victim's home to spy on his ex-girlfriend who lived across the street. He took the Cantrells hostage. The state says Eisenberg shot and killed Patsy before beating AJ to death with the gun. He then went over to his ex-girlfriend's home, shot her son, and beat his grandmother. Eisenberg appeared before the parole board by video.
I apologize profusely to all the victims. I make no excuses. I belong in prison.
That was like my 2-year-old apologizing for hitting it didn't mean anything. I just wanted to live long enough to know that justice was carried out.
Eisenberg's defense attorney says his client has been a model prisoner and has worked to better himself. His attorneys also stressed the murders were impulsive and not planned. Execution is set to be January 12th. The Cantrell's daughter says she'll be there and is calling it a holiday for her.
Scott Eisenberg, I hope I'm not killing that name. But Eisenberg was convicted in 2003 for the killings of 76-year-old AJ Cantrell and 70-year-old Patsy Cantrell. Now, prosecutors say that he broke into their homes in October of that year so that he could watch his former girlfriend who lived across the street. When the couple came home unexpectedly, Eisenberg fatally shot Patsy Cantrell and beat AJ Cantrell to death with a shotgun. Now, prosecutors said that after killing them, Eisenberg entered his ex-girlfriend's home, which was right across the street there, and then he shot her son in the back and attacked her mother. Now, both of those, the grandmother and the son, they both survived, and that's what got Eisenberg the death penalty. He broke into those old people's home and killed those old people because they came home unexpectedly. You know what I'm saying? This dude right here, I think he was on a crime spree. There was some more crimes he committed before he even broke into those people's homes, right? But we're not going to get into that. I think I made another video. Go back and check out some of my death row videos. I got some death row videos for people who are on death row before their executions, right? And I think I did one on Eisenberg. But like I said, he was a piece of work, killing those old people like that. And that's what kills me sometimes, when everybody gets hurt some of these criminals, they get out there and they kill everybody and they hurt everybody except the people that they're really trying to hurt, right? So I'm pretty sure if he had it his way, he was really trying to get his ex-girlfriend, but he didn't care. I guess he wanted her to just feel pain, right? Whether I kill your mother, whether I kill your son, your neighbors, I just want this woman to feel pain. And I thought it's really sad that that old couple in the golden years of their life was attacked like that by this dude, man. You know what I'm saying? This is one dude that I really think deserves to be in prison. I don't know how you guys feel about the death penalty. I've heard a lot of more heinous crimes, but this is heinous also, right? But I've heard some heinous things, man, and you know, covered some heinous things with some of these people, and I find it fascinating that some people would say that, hey man, he doesn't deserve the death penalty. I mean, a life for a life is what I think. That's personally, you know what I mean? What can we do? When you do something so heinous, I feel like you don't deserve to walk amongst us. You don't deserve for me to pay my tax money to feed you every day, to shelter you or anything. And when you do stuff like that and you have no regard for people's life, do away with you, bro. That's how I feel. If you're not offering nothing constructive to humanity, you know, to humans, I mean, you're just out here killing and maiming. Man, you're like a wild rabid dog that needs to be shot and put out of its misery. That's right. That's what I said. And that's how I feel. You know what I mean? It's a case-by-case basis because certain things happen. You know what I mean? I'm not saying you can't protect yourself. People do have to protect themselves, right? I'm talking about people out there who are just maliciously going out, hurting people, killing people. That's all I got for you guys today. Rowdy Nation TV. I hope you enjoyed the content. Click the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so anytime I drop a video, you guys can be notified. We out.